Imagine this. You finally get your express entry invitation to apply. You submit your Canadian Experience Class application, pay the fees, and wait. Months later, you do not get your PR. Instead, you get a refusal letter and a devastating 5-year ban from Canada for misrepresentation. Why does this happen every single day to smart, highly skilled people? Because the express entry system sets you up to fail. The automated portal happily accepts your job dates and gives you a high score based entirely on your unverified, self-declared data. But behind the scenes, an immigration officer manually audits your timeline day by day. If they find even a few weeks of invalid experience, your score drops and your application is destroyed. In this video, I'm going to walk you through the 4 biggest CEC calculation traps that catch applicants off guard. I will explain exactly what the officers are looking for, the real court cases they use against you, and give you the exact step-by-step strategy to audit your own profile before you hit that submission button. Hi, if you're new to my channel, I'm Bella. I'm a regulated Canadian immigration consultant, and my job is to help aspiring immigrants like yourself develop a personalized strategy that makes your journey to Canada as simple and stress-free as possible. Let's get right into it. Trap number 1 is the maintained status unauthorized work trap. If you have ever applied to extend your work permit while inside Canada, you probably know about maintained status. It is the rule that lets you keep working while waiting for a decision. But in May 2025, IRCC quietly changed the rules, and it is catching a lot of people. The old trick used to be that if your extension was refused, you could quickly submit a second application to buy more time. Not anymore. Under the new May 2025 rule, the exact day your first application is refused, your maintained status dies immediately. The express entry portal does not ask for your refusal rates, so people just keep entering their continuous employment. But when the officer checks the system, they see that you worked after a refusal. They legally classify that as unauthorized work, subtract those hours, and if you drop below the 12-month minimum, you are refused. And worse, because you signed a declaration saying that your work was legal, they can hit you with a 5-year ban for misrepresentation. And here's how you fix it yourself. First, do not guess your dates. Request your ATIP notes, which stands for Access to Information and Privacy, to see the exact day your permit was refused. Second, quarantine the dates. If you accidentally worked after refusal, put those specific weeks only in the personal history section of your express entry profile, never in the work history section. Finally, write a letter of explanation. You must proactively explain that you made an innocent mistake but deliberately removed the points, to be honest. This transparency is your shield against a fraud charge. Now, dealing with ATIP requests and drafting legal explanation letters can be incredibly confusing. If you are worried about making a mistake that could trigger a misrepresentation ban, please reach out. You can book a consultation with me for high-level strategy planning to figure out your next steps, or you can hire my team for full legal representation services. We will navigate the complexity for you, audit your timeline, and build a bulletproof application to avoid these severe refusal risks. The link is in the description below. By law, self-employment does not count for the Canadian Experience class, but gig economic workers, IT consultants, and doctors often think that because they incorporated a numbered company to pay themselves a salary or because they get a T4A tax slip, they legally count as employees. Immigration officers do not care about your corporate structure. They apply the Canada Revenue Agency degree of control test based on this Supreme Court case to see if you are truly an employee or independent contractor. Do you control your own hours? Do you provide your own laptop? Do you take on financial risk? If yes, the officer reclassifies you as self-employed and deletes your points. And it gets worse. A 2024 federal court case ruled that officers do not even have to send you a warning letter before refusing you for this. If your documents look like self-employment, they can just deny you on the spot. And here is how you fix this yourself. First, audit your own contract. Make sure your employment letters explicitly prove that your boss controls your schedule, provides your tools, and that you have no financial risk. Second, if you are an IT contractor and are not sure, you can file a Form CPTI with the CRA to get an official government ruling that you are an employee. Defending yourself against the ruling is incredibly difficult. If you are a contractor, an IT professional, or a doctor using a fee-for-service model, you need a highly technical legal submission to prove that you're not self-employed. Do not risk a sudden refusal. Click the link in the description to work with us. My team and I will handle the heavy lifting, thoroughly audit your contracts, and build this complex legal defense for you. Okay, international students, listen closely. Any work you do while studying full-time does not count for CEC. The trap is when you think your studies end. Most students finish their final exam, immediately start a full-time professional job, and start counting those hours for their PR. Legally, you are still a full-time student until your university issues your official letter of completion or final transcript. If you finish the exam on April 15th, but the school does not print the letter until May 25th, the immigration officer will completely erase those 5 weeks of work experience from your CEC calculation. If those 5 weeks drops you below 1562 hours, your application will be refused. And here's how you fix it. Wait for the paper. Get the exact date printed on your official graduation letter or final transcript. Sequence your days carefully. Only start counting your CEC work experience from the day after that letter is issued and after you have officially submitted your post-graduation work permit application. Trap number 4 is the remote work inside Canada paradox. Since the pandemic, lots of people live in Canada on an open work permit, but work remotely for a company based in the US, India, or Europe. People constantly mess this up in Express Entry. They claim it as Canadian work experience because they physically live in Canada, or they claim it for federal skilled worker points because the company is foreign. Here's the complex legal reality. It's not Canadian experience because your employer is not a Canadian entity and is not contributing to the Canadian economy. Now, what about the federal skilled worker program? You can use this remote work to meet the minimum eligibility to just enter the Express Entry pool. But here's the catch. Under Section 25 of the Ministerial Instructions, to actually get comprehensive ranking system points for foreign work experience, you must have been physically located outside of Canada when you did the job. So, remote work inside Canada for a foreign company yields absolutely 0 CRS points. Here's how you fix this yourself. Segregate your history. You must put this remote work in your personal history section, not the work history section, so the automated system does not accidentally give you points you do not deserve. Next, write a letter of explanation. If you transferred from a foreign office to Canada doing the same job, provide flight tickets and a letter clearly showing the exact date you entered Canada so officer knows exactly when to stop counting your foreign points. The Express Entry system gives you a false sense of security. Just because the computer gives you an ITA does not mean your work experience is legally valid. As you can see, a few days of miscalculated dates or misunderstood tax slip can lead to a refusal or a devastating misrepresentation ban. You have to be your own toughest auditor, but you do not have to do it alone. These rules are highly technical, and getting them wrong has massive consequences for your future. If you need high-level guidance on how to approach your unique work situation, do not hesitate to book a consultation with me. If you want us to forensically audit your work history, help you draft your legal explanation letters, and make sure your application is completely bulletproof, working with us might be the smartest investment you can make. With so much at stake after you receive your ITA, let me and my team navigate the complexity and refusal risks for you. Check the link in the description to get started. If this video helped you catch a mistake, please hit the like button and subscribe for more honest, no-nonsense Canadian immigration strategies. Thanks for watching.